Okay, this is chapter 13, lesson 6. Today's all about problem solving, okay, and working with word problems. And we are going to revisit the idea about how sometimes you don't need to find an exact answer to solve a word problem, and sometimes you do need to find an exact answer. So today your learning goal is to be able to use estimates and exact answers to solve word problems, and also to be able to determine when you need an exact answer and when you just need an estimate, okay? Okay, so it says sometimes the same problem can be solved in different ways to fit different situations. Okay, actually I'm going to pause. Sometimes the same problem can be solved in different ways to fit different situations. So here's the situation. A high school builds a new football stadium. The stadium costs $7 million, $7,549,000 and $705 to build. And the school agrees to pay this bill in 5 equal yearly payments. How long is the school going to take to pay? 5 years. One payment each year for 5 years. About how much money will the school pay in 1 year? Now, that's the situation, okay? We bought this new football stadium. It cost about $7.5 million to build, and we're going to pay for it over 5 years. One payment each year for 5 years. Sometimes you need to find an exact answer. For example, the contractor who built the stadium sends the school a bill for each payment. She wants to make sure each dollar and cent is accounted for. The contractor is the person who's getting paid. Does she want to make sure she gets every last cent? Yeah. Does she care about getting an exact amount of payment to make sure she gets paid the whole amount? Yes. So when you want to find an exact answer, you have to just do the division, right? They had to do 7,549,705 divided by 5, because 5 payments over 5 years. Yes? Good. Okay, so up here it's the same high school situation, okay? Sometimes you can use an estimate. It says a local news reporter is writing a story about the stadium. He wants to let the people know about how much the stadium will cost per year. If they just want to know about how much it'll cost per year, do you need to find an exact answer? What's that magic word that tells you that you can just estimate, Ria? About. There it is. Very good. So in this case, they just found an estimate. They rounded to the nearest 100,000. So they said 7,549,705 is about 7,500,000. And they just divided that by 5, because it's much easier to divide 7,500,000 by 5 than it is to divide the exact number by 5. Agreed? Mm-hmm. Very good. Sometimes you can solve the problem using an estimate, as we talked about. It says the school can spend up to $1,600,000 per year on the stadium. Is the stadium too expensive? Can they afford it if this is the amount they can pay each year? Okay, so we want to know if we have enough money. So we're going to try to find a high estimate, because if our answer is okay with the high estimate, does that mean our actual answer is lower and we'll be okay? Very good. So let's round up to the nearest million. So 7,549,705 is about, rounded up to the next million, is about $8 million, right? $8 million divided by 5 is $1 million, $1,600,000 each year. Because you rounded up, you know each payment will be less. The actual payment will be less than $1,600,000. Do we have enough to buy that football stadium? Yes. The school will pay less than $1,600,000 per year, so the stadium is not too expensive. Okay? So today's word problems are all going to be about having to figure out if you need to estimate or if you need to find an exact answer.